Welcome back to Montana This Morning, everyone. The time is 6:46, and yes, we're taking a look from our first interstate iCam here in Billings. You wouldn't think so because you can barely see the city of Billings down below, except for a few of our skyscrapers, and out there in the distance, sun looking pretty orange, so we have some smoke and fog we're dealing with this morning. Our top story today, two former members of President Trump's inner circle are now facing prison time. Michael Cohen, the president's longtime personal attorney, pleaded guilty on Tuesday to fraud and campaign finance violations. He admitted paying hush money to two women in an effort to influence the 2016 election. Cohen implicated Trump, saying the payments were made, quote, in coordination and at the direction of a candidate for federal office. On Tuesday, Paul Manafort was convicted on 8 of 18 criminal counts by a jury in Alexandria, Virginia. The fraud and tax charges against the president's former campaign chairman stemmed from his work as an international political consultant. And an undocumented immigrant from Mexico is now charged in the murder of Iowa college student Molly Tibbetts. The 20-year-old was last seen alive on July 18th. Investigators say suspect Christian Bahina Rivera led them to her body in a cornfield on Tuesday. He's due to make his first court appearance this afternoon. In Wyoming, Treasurer Mark Gordon has been declared the winner of the state's GOP primary race for governor. Gordon brought in 32.9% of the votes, while businessman Foster Freese came in with 26%. Current Democratic state legislator Mary Throne is the winner in the Democratic governor's race and will advance to the general election in November. She led the pack with 72% of the votes over three other candidates. Incumbent U.S. Senator John Barrasso had a big leap with 65% of the vote. Barrasso's top challenger, Dave Dotson, wound up with 28%. Barrasso will face Democrat Gary Trauner in November. Trauner was unopposed in the Democratic primary. In the U.S. House race, incumbent Republican Liz Cheney, daughter of former Vice President Dick Cheney, will advance to November, chalking up an easy win against two challengers. Cheney getting 68% of the votes. Cheney will take on the winner of the Democratic U.S. House primary between Greg Hunter and Travis Helm. Hunter led with 61% of the vote over Helm. The Montana Supreme Court rules that Green Party candidates will not be included on the Montana ballot this November. Late last night, the state's highest court upheld last month's decision by District Judge James Reynolds that invalidated about 80 signatures used to qualify the Green Party for the ballot. Without those signatures, the Green Party falls short of the minimum number needed for its qualifying petitions, so their candidates will not appear on the ballot. The party had 5 candidates, including one each in Montana's U.S. House and U.S. Senate races, but the issue isn't settled yet. The Green Party still has a federal court lawsuit that seeks to reinstate its candidates. The deadline for Montana's Secretary of State to certify ballots for printing is this Thursday. Tuesday's ruling from the court came in the form of a brief order, but the court said it will have a full opinion in due course. Elsewhere, in a move to bolster America's coal industry, the Trump administration unveils its new Affordable Clean Energy Rule. The proposed rule rewrites pollution standards for the nation's power plants, a move that could keep aging coal-fired plants like those at Colstrip running longer. The EPA's new Affordable Clean Energy Rule would give states more flexibility to achieve reductions in greenhouse gas emissions, but critics say the controversial move puts public health at risk. Acting EPA Administrator Andrew Wheeler says the new proposal will enable the states to build clean, affordable, and reliable energy portfolios and could save the nation's power sector up to $400 million a year in compliance costs. As expected, the proposed rule sparked immediate reaction across the board. Here in Billings, the past chair of the Northern Plains Resource Council tells Q2 the goal of giving more flexibility to the state is a strategy to divert attention from the real issue.
The Clean Power Plan, as proposed by the Obama administration, gave a lot of flexibility to states on how to achieve reductions in carbon pollution. So they gave a lot of flexibility how you do it, but there was some sort of target that needed to be met. Basically, what the changes to this rule have done is basically eliminated any targets. So all you're left is with flexibility, but flexibility to do almost nothing.
Taking the opposite view, Congresswoman Liz Cheney of Wyoming and Representative Greg Gianforte of Montana. Cheney says, quote, ensuring the reliability of our power grid by supporting coal, a crucial baseload power source, is an economic and national security priority. Congressman Gianforte says he welcomes the new proposed rule, which he says, quote, replaces the burdensome, costly Obama-era mandate with a rule designed to empower states, promote American energy dominance, and protect our environment. Despite the recent rain and cooler temperatures, the Howe Ridge Fire in Glacier National Park burns on, now at 9,600 acres. Fire officials don't expect containment until November. This week's gusty winds expanded the fire to the southwest. Winds are expected to be a problem all this week, with the best chance for measurable rain coming early next week. Super scoopers, helicopters, high-volume pumps, sprinklers, and fire lines are just some of the tools being used to battle the flames. The Howe Ridge Fire has burned over 17 square miles, destroying 13 homes and 14 other structures north of Lake McDonald. Billings police continue to search for missing teenagers who's believed to be in danger. 16-year-old Zoe the Boy was last seen August 9th when she left youth services on foot wearing a gray sweater, black pants with a black backpack. She is 5 foot 3 inches, 140 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. Anyone with information is asked to call 911 or the Billings Police Department. Teachers with Billings School District 2 kicked off the new school year with their annual Rally Tuesday. For many, this was the first time hearing from new Superintendent Greg Upham. Upham spoke about his upbringing and his mom, a first-generation college graduate and member of the Blackfeet Nation, who inspired him to work hard and pursue his career in education. School District 2 students head back to class on Thursday and Friday. County schools, along with Billings Catholic schools, start class today. In other news, the people of Montana have a new painting. Donors helped raise $30,000 to purchase the piece for the Montana Historical Society. The painting is titled The Confluence. The 6-foot by 8-foot piece was created by artist Dale Levezzi and currently hangs in the governor's office at the Capitol. It depicts the headwaters of the Missouri River and Three Forks. It took the artist more than 8 months to paint. Levezzi tells MTM he simply approached Governor Bullock and suggested a large Montana landscape painting would look good in his office.
I just think it's a really beautiful spot, and I think it's really significant in history. Lewis and Clark, the Three Rivers coming together.
The Montana Historical Society and Montana History Foundation worked together to help raise the money to purchase the painting. Well, wrapping up our news this Wednesday morning, the Eastman's Trophy Deer Tour, put on by Eastman's hunting publication, is making stops in Montana and Wyoming. The tour is currently in Great Falls and will be in Casper starting this Friday. It will also make a stop in Sheridan, Wyoming, August 31st through September 3rd at the Sportsman's Warehouse. It's a chance to see the biggest mule deers from across North America. For the past 25 years, the Deer Tour has attracted over 150,000 people each year.
It's fun, get to meet a lot of people, see all the new stuff on that introduced in the hunting world every year at these big shows and stuff. So we do try a bunch of the product and give reviews through the magazine and whatnot.
Through the tour, Eastman's hopes to spread the belief in the ethic of fair chase hunting.